What's good, y'all? This is Suelo reporting live to you from the Open Mind Group Studios. We are doing the Sage Cam. All right, so the topic for today's discussion is going to be mental health. I know mental health has been a rising issue in the United States recently, especially with the mass shootings going on like crazy. People always talking about mental health, the shooter and mental health, and trying to make it a mental health issue, gun issue, but that's I won't talk about that. But mental health, so we're gonna talk about mental health, what it is, the mainstream viewpoint on it, what the mainstream says about mental health, my view on mental health, my journey on mental health, and how we can overcome this. So excuse me, sorry, let's get this started. All right, so mental health, what is it? Let's do a quick overview of what mental health is according to mayoclinic.org. Mental illness, also called mental health disorder, refers to a wide range of mental health conditions, disorders that affect your mood, thinking, and behavior. Examples of mental illness include depression, anxiety disorder, schizophrenia, eating disorders, and addictive behaviors. So that's a quick overview of what mental health is. I don't think we've done enough research to really truly define it, but that's a quick brief overview of it. So that's what mental health is. And let me talk about the mainstream view on mental health and what the mainstream culture, society around mental health is. So what I've noticed, at least from the mainstream on mental health, is people treat it or talking about it like it's an untreatable disease. Like if it's like there's no way to solve the problem in a sense. And I guess that's why they're trying to do like mental health awareness and trying to bring awareness to it and bring it more to light and get rid of the old view on mental health and what is like, oh, you just have to be strong, toughen up, you know what I mean? Because people really do suffer from some things. And before I go any further, I want to apologize to anybody who's really suffering through true mental health disorders, because I know, shoot, people really suffer from like schizophrenia. Like, damn, I would hate to have that. Schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, multiple personalities disorders, just crazy stuff going on in your head and you don't know what it is or how to solve it. So I want to be respectful of it, and I apologize. I don't mean to offend anybody, but this is my viewpoint on it. So in the mainstream, I see a lot of mental health awareness initiatives going on, which is cool. Mental health initiatives, let's raise awareness to it, get into the public eye and people can be more aware of it, and have a better understanding of what it is. But we still don't have a good understanding of what it is. And I feel like in the last recent years, maybe 5 to 10 years, we've been really trying to ramp up the talk about it, and the talk has been the same for the last 5 to 10 years. Let's raise awareness, mental health, and I feel like we're not getting anywhere. I feel like for the mainstream culture, they want to talk about mental health as a talking point just to say that you're talking about it, you know what I mean? To make you look like you're in the know or whatever. But nothing is really getting done. I do want to shout out all the therapists, psychiatrists out there really doing the work with people. That's much love, and trust me, your work is much appreciated, especially by your clients. We really do appreciate it. I really do appreciate people really in the trenches getting stuff done, but as far as the mainstream, nothing's really getting solved, like there's no solutions that I've come across so far, no real initiatives going forward. And an example of that is that I want to bring up, not to bash him or anything, but just the whole aspect of this interview that I saw was, I want to bring up Kevin Love. I know Kevin Love had an interview he did on ESPN where he was talking about mental health awareness and stuff like that, and what was going on with him, and how he had an anxiety attack on the court, and he ran to the locker room because he felt like his heart was about to explode, and he just collapsed on the floor and whatever. He had a severe anxiety attack, got taken to the hospital and all that. And that was cool. Like, I appreciate, it takes a lot of willpower, it takes a lot of strength to come out and talk about mental health disorders and issues and stuff like that. It takes a lot of strength to come out and say that you're going through it or whatever. So I applaud him for that, most definitely. But what irked me about the interview was that they didn't offer any solutions at the end. It was just Kevin Love. He talked about his issue, what happened to him. ESPN did a whole take on it. Like I said, ESPN wants to be in the know. ESPN is talking about it. They're cool, you know what I mean? But they didn't offer any solutions. And that's what bugs me, is that we're not offering solutions. You just bring awareness to it. Like, cool, now what? You know what I mean? I feel like that applies to a lot of issues in our society, nation, culture, whatever. So my thing is, like, let's solve the damn problem. You know what I mean? And we're not doing anything about it, you know. So if Kevin Love, if you recovered from it, if you're doing better now, like, talk about it, bring that up. What did you do to get better? You know what I mean? Or what's your process? What's your journey? Like, people want to see that, because people want to better themselves. You know, I've been through similar things to what Kevin Love was talking about, and I'm going to talk about that a little bit later. But as far as for the mainstream, like, I have friends or people that I see on social media talking about, like, they like, similar to like the March of Dimes and stuff. They're like doing marches and this and that, and they're trying to bring awareness and stuff like that. Like, that's cool, but nothing has really come from it. Like, what are we doing, you know? And I'm here to talk about, you know, there's a variety of mental health disorders. Like, I didn't know ADHD was one. I mean, but makes sense, but I never really thought of it. ADD, ADHD. But I'm here to mostly talk about depression and anxiety, which kind of go hand in hand, or anxiety derives from depression. So depression, big one. I think that's the biggest mental health disorder in the United States. I was doing some research right now. So yeah, the mainstream, we just talk about it, want to bring awareness to it, and doctors, how they're treating it. Like, medical doctors, at least we live in a society where the medical doctors don't give a damn about your mental health. Medical doctors are there for one reason, and one reason only, or their biggest reason, is to sell you drugs. They're a part of big pharma. We all know that. And big pharma is trying to kill the world, you know, slowly with these drugs, and get you hooked and make money, billions and billions of dollars. So doctors, if you go to a doctor and you tell him, I'm depressed, he's just gonna give you antidepressants and kick you out the door. Or you tell a doctor, I'm having anxiety attacks, he's gonna give you Xanax, kick you out the door, right? Like, the medical doctors really don't give a damn, you know. And then they'll say, if you want to speak to a psychiatrist, you know, I'll refer you to this clinic, etc., etc. And then you start moving. But here's my quick journey through that, because I've been through that too, where you go to the doctor, refer you to another clinic, a mental health clinic, a behavioral, I think they're called behavioral clinics. And the process on that is dumb. You have to get you have to see like 2 or 3 different people before you even get to see a psychiatrist or therapist. I'm not sure what you call it, I'm sorry. And it takes forever. Like, as far as for like the system we have in place now for mental health, we need better access to mental health, faster, better doctors, get the process going, because a dude is suffering through depression or anxiety and things like that. Like, he doesn't want to wait 2 or 3 months before he sees a damn psychiatrist. You know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to see him tomorrow, ASAP. Like, let me get in there. You know what I mean? And it's not like that. You know what I mean? If you really want to see one, you got to go just look them up online, whatever your Yellow Pages phone book, whatever you guys use. And you got to pay like $100, $200 a session. You know what I mean? And the average person, you know, someone like me, someone working minimum wage, or, you know, just getting by, working their full-time job, not really like balling like that, doesn't really have the money to spend $100, $200 an hour to talk to a psychiatrist. You know what I mean? So we got to do a better job with the mental health access, to have access to treatment and things like that. We are doing a very bad job. So I do applaud people trying to push that initiative. I'm behind that 100%. So we're raising awareness and not bringing any solutions, in my opinion. People will post things online about mental health and this and that, but they're still suffering, and they're not posting what they're doing to overcome it. They just want to, I feel like people want to play the victim. Oh, I'm suffering from this mental health disorder. I'm helpless. I can't get any better. That's not true. You can get better, especially if it's depression and anxiety. That's like, to me, the easiest ones to overcome. Yes, some of us are prone to be more depressed, like neurological things and stuff like that, chemicals going on in our brain. So you might actually benefit from, a little bit of antidepressants, you know what I mean? Help give you that boost, but the rest is up to you. You know what I mean? So here's my take, my journey on depression and anxiety and how I've overcome it. I don't know if you really truly ever overcome it, but you get better. I'm much better than I was, say, 4 years ago. And this is how I got better. So I'm here to actually give an example and tell y'all what I did and how I'm doing better now, share some hope and some tips. Maybe you guys can learn from this and help yourself, So I was going through depression and having anxiety attacks. So I was like, just really depressed. Didn't know why, didn't even know what the feeling was, but it was bad. I just remember telling like people around me or my girl, telling her like, I just feel alone, I feel lonely, I'm really down, things like that. And it was bad, I had never really felt like that. So I was like, how can I feel better? You know what I mean? Like, I used to feel good. Like, what did I used to do back then that made me feel good, I guess? And how can I reach that state again? And so I was like, oh, I used to smoke a lot of weed back then. You know what I mean? So I was like, all right, let me start smoking weed. Bet. Wrong. So I was trying to, smoke weed and try to like boost how I feel. But I'm gonna tell you the truth about weed. Off topic real quick. Weed doesn't, just because you smoke weed doesn't mean, or you ingest it, whatever, doesn't mean that you're gonna automatically feel better. It's just gonna boost what you already feel inside. So if you already feel down, the weed's gonna make it worse. If you feel good, the weed's gonna make it better. So you gotta be already kind of feeling good when you smoke the weed. It'll make you feel better. If you're feeling down, it's gonna bring you hell, and any other drugs for that matter, right? So I was trying to turn to weed, and things like that, trying to make me feel better, drinking whatever, and no, it was bad. I started getting anxiety attacks, had my first anxiety attack, didn't know what the hell was going on. I felt like I related a lot to what Kevin Love was saying, that he didn't know, he said something along the lines, he didn't know what was going on, never had that before. I felt like my heart was gonna explode, racing thoughts, I was having voices in my head, it was nuts, right? And I was going through that like bad for like a week or two, cold sweats, waking up in the middle of the night, hearing voices in my head, heart pounding, body stiffening, like it was just bad, And so I was like, damn, this freaking sucks. But let me tell you, it was bad. I would rather die than go through all that again. But I'm here to share some hope. Like, let me tell you, like, rather than me playing the victim and lying down and letting this depression and anxiety take me over, I said, nah, I'm better than this. I'm smarter than this. I'm greater than this. You know what I mean? I'm not finna just lie down and take it, So what did I start to do? Here's how I overcame depression and anxiety. So they say there's 3 main factors. You have to eat healthier, right? If you put garbage in your body, you're gonna feel like garbage, straight up. So eat healthier, more organic food, non-processed foods, fruits, veggies. You eat more natural, you'll feel better. Number 2, and okay, so let me backtrack a little bit. So that I was already lightweight doing, like eating healthier. Like I've never really been one to eat garbage just because I didn't want to get fat, straight up, So I already ate semi-healthy, but I started eating even healthier. Number 2, exercise, right? I already exercise like damn 5-6 times a week. You know what I mean? So I just kept exercising. I didn't give that up. You know what I mean? And number 3, the key component to overcoming these depression and anxiety, these mental health disorders, and to overcoming this is meditation. Let me say that again into the mic. Meditation. Yes, meditation was the number 1 component to me overcoming mental health problems. Straight up. And it definitely can help you overcome depression and anxiety, anger issues, things like that. Meditation helps. And it can also help, not entirely, won't heal you, because these things are a little more drastic, like schizophrenia and stuff like that. It can help with that. You know what I mean? Like that's a little more tough. It's not going to completely heal it, but it can help and aid because it changes the chemicals in your brain. Meditation really does do that. It changes the chemicals, the chemical balances in your brain, and gives you more feel-good chemicals and relax and clarity of thought. Like meditation really does do that. So that's the number 1 component I started adding to my resume of eating healthier, exercising, and meditation. Meditation was key because the other 2 I was already doing. You know what I mean? And I had a meditation. It took off, let me tell you, straight up. So I started to meditate. So this started happening in 2015, around March, April 2015. And right now we're in September 2019. So it's been over 4 years, you know, since I started meditating, and I haven't stopped, and I don't plan to stop. I meditate twice a day, each session 20 to 30 minutes. Once in the morning when I wake up, and again before I go to bed at night. Meditate twice a day. It's not hard. At first it could be a little weird, a little uncomfortable because it's different. Like you gotta sit up and just breathe, and it feels weird. It's not what we really do. It's not in our culture. It's more in like Eastern cultures, like they practice it. But we're Westerners, you know, in the United States, it's not what we do. So meditation really helped me overcome my depression and anxiety. And I try to share this with my friends. Like I see them complaining about mental health and things like that, or people that I follow, I'm like, meditate. And I want to shout out J. Cole, because damn, J. Cole knows the damn truth. That song on KOD, I'm sorry I don't remember the song's name right now, but he's like he's like talking to somebody how to overcome their problems. He's like, I know of a better way. Meditate, don't medicate. Damn, J. Cole is ahead of his time, bro. Ain't nobody talking about that besides me. I like to think so. So shout out to J. Cole, man. We on the same wave, bro. Like, not to like piggyback off of you or anything, but meditation is the key. Meditation is the key to happiness and overcoming depression and anxiety. And I talk about those because those are the ones that I went through, that I'm familiar with, and I've overcome. So I know what it's like. I've been there, and this is what really helped me. Like, and I've been trying to say, like, I try to talk about it in my songs a little, because I do make music, for those who aren't familiar. Suelo. I do make music, and on my album cover, Grace of God 2, I'm meditating in front of a tree. And it's not for like aesthetics or anything like that. Like, I'm doing it like as a message to let y'all know the key to life, the key to happiness, the key to joy and love is meditation. You don't meditate, you really won't accomplish these things. A lot of great people, successful people, they'll tell you they have meditation in their regimen, in their daily routine. Meditation can really help you overcome these problems you're having in your life. You just feel lighter, you feel better, you're happier, you look forward to the day. So yeah, meditation and mixing with gratitude, being grateful for the day, the things you got going on, the things you have in your life. Be grateful for those things, and that just helps you feel better. But at the root of it Because me, I'm all about getting to the root of it. Like too many times,
so me,
I feel like we live in an issue in a society where
to rid of my depression.
you always want to treat the symptoms. I started to meditate. I didn't treat the symptoms. I didn't play victim. I didn't just take Xannies and antidepressants and just try to get better, hope for the best, and not really change anything in my life. It's all about the inner work. You're never gonna feel better and get better and be happy and accomplish major things in this life really without doing the inner work. You got to do the inner work, and meditation is the key. It gives you access to get into your true self, into who you really are. You know, you got to settle your mind, be at peace, and that's when you really know yourself, because we have the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. You have your true self and your higher self, your spirit, who you really are, your soul. Right here, this is just a body, and we're inhibited by this human brain that processes things in a certain way, when the spirit doesn't process emotions and words and language and things like that. Like your true self, at your true core, everybody is love, infinite love. That's what we all are. And when you meditate, you can bring yourself to peace, and you find your true self, and that love comes out of you. You start to love yourself. You start to love life. You be more appreciative. You start to want to do something with yourself, and you actually start to work at something and reach goals and set goals and reach those and bow, you know what I mean? And you just live a fulfilling life, you know? So if you're gonna take one thing out of this, my thing with mental health illness is there's too many people playing victim and not really applying anything and doing anything. And I'm here to tell you, you can help yourself, you can get better. And the number one thing that you gotta start doing today is meditate. So I'm gonna leave y'all with that. I've been Suelo with Open Mind Group. Peace.